What's going on, my friends?
Hey, hey, hey.
Some of you I haven't spoken to for a long time. A lot of you have been following me and Nation to Nation as we have traveled across the country and across the big water over into Israel many times. And so I wanted to welcome you back. Just some great things that Nation to Nation is doing, and we're about to get into it. But first of all, I want to introduce to you one of my close friends and one of my co-hosts, the co-host. Him and I are co-hosting together. One of my dear friends who is actually part of our Nation to Nation executive branch, and excited about him being a partner and what we're doing. I took him with me on our last trip to Israel, and we just had an amazing time. My friend, Izzy.
Hey,
welcome.
right here.
Welcome.
Hey, I'm excited to be here.
Man, this is going to be great.
This is awesome.
We both share a lot of history in the music industry. Izzy is currently a worship pastor and on staff at a church here in Florida, and just really excited for what's going on with him and what's going on with the ministry there. Matter of fact, I was just here at their church this past weekend, and really excited about what's going on here. And part of the reason, Izzy, that I was here, one of many, was because we are working on a brand new song.
We are. Don't you have part of it on your phone? Are you going to play it? Or?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's just a scratch track at the moment. But the title of the song is
Nation to Nation.
Nation to Nation. And what an amazing opportunity we're going to have with this song and getting it played across the world. A lot of our focus is Israel, but we've actually been contacted about some things going on in Africa and also in India. A lot of Christian persecution going on in these countries. And so just be praying with us to see what God has got in store for us coming up here with Nation to Nation. So we have, you can see the sign behind me. It says Nation to Nation coming together for humanity. But above it says podcast. And my goodness, I have phone calls going on right now.
Don't you have podcast mode?
This is great. This is Steve Hansen. Steve, you are on speaker because you are now on a live with me. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he said,
I
okay.
didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, we know you did. It wasn't planned, but I saw who it was and I answered it. Plus, I didn't put it on silent. But so Steve actually serves with us on Nation to Nation as well. Steve and I have been friends for many years. Unfortunately, he just moved to Dallas from Detroit.
Oh,
my heart's
man.
Still broken. Did you hear that, Steve?
I did.
Okay, good. And Steve has done a lot of great things in ministry.
Go Cowboys.
No, he's not a Cowboys fan at all. He is a Lions fan, just like me. And so
they both play on Thanksgiving.
We do play on Thanksgiving.
They both play.
And we usually win. Anyways, so Steve has been a longtime friend of mine, great family. I love his family. I treat his kids like they're my nieces and nephews. They're great. And his wife is just amazing. So I'm really glad that Steve, I'm going to leave you on for just a second, but but I'm really glad that he called in because Steve's played a vital part in my personal ministry and what we've been doing in Israel. And matter of fact, Steve and I was in Israel September of 2023, just weeks before everything that happened on October 7th. And we had an amazing time, but we knew Izzy is pretty interesting time, but we knew that something was going on in Israel. We could just sense the distress that was going on. I remember sitting with Madi, you and I sitting at a table, and Madi asked, "What are you sensing?" And I remember speaking up saying, I feel like there's 6 or 7 different organizations and religious organizations, and someone's about to pop off quick. And didn't know that I was speaking prophetically, but literally just a few weeks later, we see what took place on October the 7th, and just a crazy time. Anyway, Steve, did you have anything about Nation to Nation you wanted to say?
Yeah, sure.
Hi.
Sorry. Hi, how are you? Nice I don't even know what we're doing, but that's
Yeah,
right.
it's a video. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, you don't have
All
to
right.
say anything. Can I
Okay.
call you back?
Yep, you can call me back.
I'll call you back.
Oh, sorry.
See you, bro.
On
Love
the
you,
phone
man.
again. Just can't wait to get back on the
I
phone
mean, it was
again.
perfect.
I got no life, but I got lots of Facebook friends. Just can't wait to get back on my phone again.
On the phone again. Yes, yes.
There's going to be a lot of comedy in this podcast, by
Yeah,
the
there
way.
is. There is a lot
and it
of
won't
comedy.
be planned. It will not be planned because it's not funny if you plan it.
Well, see, you don't plan. I have to sometimes. I have to
I'm
plan.
on a different planet.
You are, because I have to find an opportunity to take advantage of for my funniness. And is that even a word, funniness? No.
Sounds kind of funny.
It sounds funny to me. Anyways, so yes, there may be a little planning involved. But anyways, Steve Hansen, great guy. I love him, him and his family. He's played a huge part in everything that I've done in Israel, and really excited to have him make that quick phone call. Unexpected. But we were talking about podcasts. So Izzy and I both have a lot of experience in podcasting from every angle. Yes, every angle. And so I'm excited about doing this with you. Let's talk about a little bit. I'm going to let you just take it away for a second. Some of the ideas that we've been talking about doing on the podcast.
Well, first of all, this is a great studio we have down here at Freedom Fellowship. We won't always be using the studio. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff in Israel every day that we're going. We're not always going to be sitting down at a professional desk. Sometimes we might be in a television studios at a real broadcast station. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, it's not always going to look like this. It won't always look the same. Sometimes AC might have to just do a quick video. Sometimes I might have to do a quick video. We don't know,
Right.
if in the situation. We're going to take people on over the computer and do interviews. But really, I mean, what would you say the heart of this right now? I mean, we're going to bring all kinds of subjects into this.
Sure.
I mean, spirituality, family, geopolitical, music, definitely sports,
Controversial.
lots of stuff about lions. I mean, obviously.
The Lions roar. It's the Lion
That's
of
right.
Judah. He came from Detroit. But anyways.
Lion of
yes.
Zion, yes. So we're going to be really, whatever guest we bring on, they're going to have a specialty in a certain area.
Sure.
And we already
Yeah.
have several in mind. I guess I probably better not say their names before they've accepted the invitation to come on.
Right.
But each one of our guests is going to have a unique perspective in their field of work or ministry or job with the government, either the government of the United States, government of Israel, or another government, maybe in India, several places. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And this, I believe, is going to grow and explode into we don't even know where. So we're just pretty much open to whatever needs to happen that day to film it, really, and put it out there. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, 100%. I think that part of my heart's desire starting Nation2Nation a couple years ago was really just coming together for humanity. And I think that Izzy and I have an opportunity and an uncanny ability to talk to people and draw raw feelings and emotions out of people. And
Usually anger for me, but
yeah, maybe some anger, but to draw that out of people so that they can express what the truth is and what's really going on.
Right.
Some of the things that I encountered in Israel, just right after October 7th when I flew back over there, the rawness of a crime scene still there was devastating. To say the least. And so to be able to talk to people now that have walked through that, Izzy, when we were there, we spent some time with Barak. And he walked us through near Oz.
And we have some of that footage that we should probably show
We will
on
show
one of the
that,
podcasts. Yeah.
And he walked us through that, showed us where his family was, showed us where his in-laws lived, and was, unfortunately lost some of his family during that time. One story that I'll tell about that real quick, just because it stood out to me, is his wife came to him, I guess weeks or months before October the 7th, and she said that she wanted to have a deadbolt put on the door that locked their safe room. And it's something that's never been needed in Israel because really it was just for if a rocket was to land, it was to protect from debris and things hitting them. Never once did they really believe that a terrorist attack would come in by foot, by hang glider, whatever, and come in and literally come into their kibbutz. And so for that to be said, Barak said he found a man who could create that, and he came in and installed it, and apparently 10 other families had that done, and all 10 of those families were saved there in that community, in that kibbutz. So that story stuck out to me because it was, it was something that, I believe the Holy Spirit may have spoke to her and gave her some insight as to do this. And now kibbutz and kibbutzim all over Israel are getting, lock mechanisms installed because there's a story about this situation. And we'd love to share Barak's testimony and what happened there. But there's just so many things, Izzy, that we've encountered. Yeah. Not just the bad, but the amazing stuff that we see happening in Israel every single day.
Well, we're going to have, I think, a lot of really, really good content for you guys, and hopefully unique. I know there's a lot of people doing podcasts, but we want to bring something fresh, something unique, and something that's cutting edge, that there's events going on in real time, and we're covering and talking about them, whether we're actually there in the land, on the ground, or whether we're in the U.S. We can just get on real quick and talk about it. Me and him he can be in Detroit, I can be in Orlando, we can be talking on Zoom on the phone and just broadcast it, whatever we got to do. So, but speaking of which, not only our podcast, but we're actually taking the trip.
Yes, we're getting ready to go back
in May.
May the 4th through the 14th. We're going to be going back to Israel.
Wait a minute. May the 4th be with you?
May the 4th be with you. And what happens on May the 14th, Israel?
It is the 77th anniversary of the nation of Israel coming back into existence in the land in modern times. The 77th. It's going to be a party in Jerusalem.
It is. And the fact that we get to be there during that week leading up to that, I believe is going to be amazing. So we're going to be there May the 4th through the 14th. Let me just share a couple things that's going to be happening. We are going to be doing some live worship nights. I'm excited about a couple of these. We're going to be at Sukkot Halal again. A lot of you guys have been there. A lot of you guys have know about it with Rick Riding. We're planning on being there. We're planning on being at the City of David House of Prayer. That's another great place to go. What an encounter and experience we had last time we were there.
Yeah,
I mean, poor Izzy had to...
My eyes were open.
He had to turn his hat around. He come walking in with that beard, and they all thought he was a rabbi or something. I'm not sure what was going on, but it was definitely a Palestinian community and Muslim community.
They said I looked too Jewish.
Too Jewish.
And I didn't even have my arm uncovered. I had a long sleeve shirt on, but...
Yeah, and he's not the one on the desk right now that is Jewish.
Right, that's the crazy part.
But you might as well be. I think we should just adopt you as a certified Jew. I love it. A Messianic Jew at that. So we're going to be, the first day we're going to arrive, we're going to be in Jerusalem for a few days. Obviously visiting places like the Mount of Olives, the City of David, the Western Wall, Bethlehem. It's getting safe to be in Bethlehem again, and we're excited about that. Some great places there in Bethlehem. Some great food, by the way, as well. So we'll be there. We'll also be visiting like the Garden of Gethsemane, my most favorite place in Israel to go.
It's beautiful.
I go there every single time. It hits me like a ton of bricks every time I go there, just to know the things that happen in that location.
The crazy thing, you're going to see, honestly, miracles and amazing things when you go to Israel every day. Yep. If you're looking for it.
Yep.
If you're not looking for it, then I don't know how to tell you. But we were in the Garden of Gethsemane, looking up at the Temple Mount, and we saw, it looked like a contrail or a jet trail, but there had been no planes out there. It was right over the Temple Mount. And there were two circles, like it looked like the infinity symbol,
like a portal
over the Temple Mount. It looked like a portal.
Yeah.
I have a picture of it, and it was just this whoosh, whoosh, right over the Temple Mount.
Amazing.
And it looked like a portal. Like, come on up here, guys.
Yep.
See what the Lord is doing. And we did go up there.
And we were headed that way. That was one of our next stops, was headed up there to the Temple Mount, where you and I did some filming there, which was pretty interesting. Some of the things that we talked about right there on the temple. Anyways.
They didn't throw us off.
They didn't kick us out of there, that's for sure. So we'll be going to the Garden of Gethsemane. We'll also be going to the Church of All Nations. The southern steps of the Temple Mount will be all around the temple as well. Looking to go to Kidron Valley, Pool of Siloam, City of David. We'll probably end up doing the Western Wall tunnels, which was chicken shawarma and aroma coffee.
Yes,
that is a must. I need my.
It happens throughout the day.
Yeah, I need my. What's the coffee like? A cappuccino. You don't say that like that in Israel, but it sounds good here. Anyway, so we're going to be at the Western Wall tunnels, the Temple Institute, and then
the Temple Institute. That is That is an awesome
Yeah,
place.
it's beautiful.
That is so cool.
The next day, we're going to spend time in Caesarea, Megiddo, and also going then to Mount Carmel. This is where we're going to be with Karen Davis. A lot of you know Karen Davis. Some of you have been there with me, have been there many times. Karen Davis has an amazing ministry, her and her staff, the staff there. It is beautiful to be, which they think is right there near where the fire of God came down.
Yep.
And who did it consume? I can't hear anybody in the
Who did it
audience right
consume?
now.
It consumed the sacrifice on the altar with water all around it and everything. And it was a showdown between Elijah and the false prophets.
Yeah. It's an amazing story, and they have this prayer cave in there that's just amazing. Just a great amount of time we spent in there just worshiping, singing praises to the
beautiful.
Lord. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be there on May the 7th for a night of worship. It's going to be a powerful impact. We'll be partnering up with their church and their people. And it's just going to be a great time. I do believe it's going to be broadcasted, so we're looking forward to being able to share that with you when Nation2Nation shows up on Mount Carmel. So we're also looking at places like, this says a falafel lunch. I'm looking forward to that too.
We can do that.
We'll be leaving the Mount Carmel and going over to the Sea of Galilee area, where we'll be staying there for a few days and be in places like Capernaum. Let's see. Looking at St. Peter's, that says St. Peter's fish lunch.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I don't eat fish, so we're gonna have a problem there.
Oh
I hope they
man,
have some chicken or something.
They do. They have other stuff.
The Mount of Beatitudes, Magdala, Jesus Boat. A lot of different places there that we'll be visiting for a few days. Next day, looking at being in northern Galilee, places like Tel Dan.
That place is really cool. They've got a creek and everything, like the river that you walk over and stuff. And yeah,
it's beautiful.
It reminded me of Montana, parts of it. It was really cool.
Yeah, last time I was there with Steve Hansen, I was doing worship and we had to set up, and I never got to go visit it.
Oh,
and
no.
then because of things going on with the war, it was kind of closed down for a while. I haven't been there. So I'm looking forward to going to Tel Dan. We're going to be at the Valley of Tears, Golan Heights. Then we'll be going to the Jordan River to do a baptism. And let me tell you, number one, when I was baptized in the Jordan River, it was just an experience I'll never forget. But then being able to baptize a ton of people in the Jordan River myself was just so rewarding. And we're looking forward to taking this group back and be able to give them that same honor to be able to be in the Jordan River and have all of those little tiny fish nibble on your legs. I mean, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
That was one of the highlights of my life is actually baptizing people in the Jordan and also being baptized. It was so cold and refreshing, and we were in there for like an hour. And I can't wait to go again.
Yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal trip. I look forward to that. Then we're going to be in places like the Dead Sea, places like the Jordan Valley Rift. We're going to be at Jericho, which I haven't been to Jericho in a while because of some issues that we had there previously. Then while we're there, we're going to be in Masada and En-Gedi, just some other great locations to be there around that Dead Sea location. We're also going to get an opportunity to spend a little time in the Gaza envelope around the Nova Festival location. And we're looking to have possibly a hostage or two that have come back to be able to sit and share some experiences with us if they're okay with doing that. And you get a chance to see a memorial place and to see where, we are wanting to do a night of worship there. That's something that I've had a dream of since it happened. And I want to be able to go and speak life into a place that's looked to be as a dead memorial place. I spoke this past week about remembrance and revelation. I want to not just have the memorial there for people to remember, but I'm believing that God's going to show up there and it be a place of revelation for people.
It's just like your sermon on Sunday. You have the memorial, you went through a bad thing. God can turn this around. It's just like that. I mean, basically going to the site of that place and speaking blessings and speaking peace, and that's not how everything's going to be remembered.
No, and we see there in Genesis 35 when Jacob, he lost his wife Rachel after giving birth to Benjamin, and we see that he had lost there and ended up having to create a tombstone or a monument to remember Rachel, but he also knew that he had to keep moving forward because of the promises of God. And so many of us are having to do that. But that's the message that I really want to portray to those that are in Israel and the Jewish community, that God is going to still take the bad and turn it in for our good. He has the ability to do that. He has plans and purpose. And then we'll be able to spend a little bit of time in, let's see, I'm trying to think. We're going to be at a couple of the different locations, the pool of Bethesda, Shiloh. We're going to be in the valley where David and Goliath had their altercation, and David defeated the giant. So there's going to be a lot of places we're going to get a chance to go. I'm excited about it. I know Izzy's excited about it. There was a few things that we didn't get to see last time, and now they've opened it back up. So now listen, if you are interested in going with Nation to Nation to Israel on May the 4th, first of all, you don't have much time to get registered and to get things moving. We've got to move it quick, because on our flights, I'm telling you, almost every day, if not every day, almost every other day, the cost of the flights are continuing to rise. So we've got to get you plugged in pretty quick. But you're looking at May the 4th through the 14th. Reach out to us. We'll have maybe an email address or something like that we can put up for you, that you can reach out to us and let us know if you're interested. Some of you have our direct lines. Reach out to us. Let us know if you're interested in going. We'd love to take you. We do have room right now. And so we would love to have a few more people involved in attending Israel. Now, listen.
Actually, we do have an email. I don't have it in the description. I don't have a producer in there. We're just both on the desk, and it's running live. So it's N2Nshow@gmail.com. So
as in Nation to Nation.
N to N. N, the letter 2, the number 2, I'm sorry. I can't think. N, the number 2, N, show@gmail.com. So you can email us, and I'll of course go to the website and everything too, and we'll have that information for you. Like AC was saying, don't miss out on this opportunity and move quick on it, because with it being the 77th anniversary of Israel and Jerusalem, a lot of people are going to want to go there. So you're going to need to make sure that you have your flights locked in and hotels and everything like that.
Perfect. And the worship music is going to be phenomenal. We've been talking to a few musicians that we're trying to get to join us.
I'm bringing my kazoo.
Amazing musicians.
I'm bringing my kazoo.
I'm thinking about bringing cowbell. I think we need a little cowbell.
And your keytar, right?
And my,
you know, you get one of those little amps like I have. I had to take a keytar.
Gosh, no.
Yes.
I have a friend of mine, one of my musician friends of mine that's played for me in the past, Andrew, played a keytar for a long time.
Nice.
And he was good at it. I was surprised, but I can't imagine me doing it. No, can't do it. But listen, real quick, we have, again, I want to welcome Izzy to not just the podcast, but also to the organization, Nation to Nation.
I'll try not to destroy it.
He can't. Welcome him to our organization. I'm excited because I know his heart. I know his passion for Israel. I know his passion for people in general. And so I'm excited about that. Him and his wife, Kristen, are just two amazing people. I love spending time with them. I love our friends here in Florida that support what we're doing with Pastor Melvin, Pastor Paul, and their families. We appreciate their support and what's going on. I have to say this, Izzy. We have a mutual friend, and he's so close to us. And him and I and two other gentlemen were the founders of another organization called We Walk Together, and that is our dear friend Amit Grinfeld. And so I want to give a shout out to Amit, because Amit, even though I participated in launching We Walk Together and I'm a partner with him on that, technically he's been a partner with Nation to Nation, because when we go to Israel, we tag up, we team up with We Walk Together, and they're responsible for a lot of things that we do over there, and they walk us through it.
Listen,
and
being friends with Amit is like being in the mafia. You can't really ever get away from him.
This is true.
And if you did, bad things would happen.
This is true. And
So
then Nir Nitzan,
he's always part of our life. We love him.
who is another partner. Nir, we love you, man. Just a great resource
Nir
in
is awesome.
Israel. So many people. We know so many people in the IDF and even in the government, and great friends like Mahdi
Mahdi
over
Shoshani.
there. Yeah,
Man.
Shoshani over there with TBN and just great friends that we have over there that we look forward to being a part of what we're doing with Nation2Nation on the podcast. I know they're already working with us
And,
with the organization.
A friend of mine, Rabbi Yehuda Glick, whom I met through Pastor Paul Begley, is a great friend of Pastor Paul's, and I text him periodically. He's leading people up onto the Temple Mount to pray. I mean, he is absolutely single-handedly. For a while, he was the only Jew in the world allowed to pray on the Temple Mount. The only one, because they shot him, they stabbed him, they threw him down the stairs, they threw stones at him, and he has lived through all of it. And they're like, okay, you know what? You kind of earned your we're gonna let you go up there. But that was like years ago when it was crazy. Now they've been opening up and letting people go up there, and he's broke the walls down.
Yeah.
To be able to bring people up for prayer, on God's holy mountain, on Mount Zion, as he calls it, and he has such a passion for that. So I'm hoping that we're going to get to interview him as well.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And
there's so many people that we are working on to line up to be part of what we're doing on this podcast. So many people who are paid hard sacrifice to actually help Nation2Nation go to the nations and have something. Now,
And before you go, remember, keep that thought. It's very safe to go right now. There are so many police and military around, and everybody. It's a great atmosphere. I mean, I feel safer there than when I go to downtown Orlando. I'm serious.
For the record, I'm actually taking for the first time 3 family members, and I've never taken a family member with me because I just didn't feel comfortable at times. But I am taking 3 family members. And I'm excited about that, but I would not take them if I didn't have confidence in what's going on in Israel and what's going on with protection and what's going on with the IDF and the police and everything else going on over there.
God has been covering them
very,
with protection.
very comfortable with it. Now, I will say this. There are some areas that we're not going to go. I mean, there's some areas in Orlando, some areas in Detroit.
Correct.
That I don't go. But that doesn't mean I don't love my city of Detroit. It doesn't mean I don't go to other places in Detroit. So there are some places, Gaza
be smart.
and
Be smart about it.
Lebanon and
Yep.
Syrian border, stuff like that we're not going to be there. So I know you've heard stories about us being there. This trip,
They were greatly exaggerated.
no, they were not. So, but this trip, we are not going to be anywhere near those areas. Matter of fact, some of the people like Major Elon is going to be coming to us
Yep.
and going to be sharing with us because we're wanting to take people and have him share with
And
us what's going
hopefully
on.
he'll be on the podcast.
That's what we're hoping for. He's an amazing dude. He's like the lead interrogator for the IDF.
That is awesome.
Was I supposed to say that? I don't know. Let's keep that to us, okay? It's kind of like a secret. But anyways,
he told me, he said, I just like to have conversations.
yes.
I have conversations.
So, last thing that I want to say before we get going is this song that we wrote. You and I came. We were here in the studios, and we wrote this song. And I don't even think it took an hour.
Oh, no. To get the whole thing. No, I mean, you did 1 piano take and 1 vocal take.
Yeah, I'm talking about when we wrote it, not when we recorded it. But
Oh,
when
I'm
we wrote
sorry.
it, we wrote it probably in an hour or less.
Yeah.
And then to
about an
record
hour.
it was probably 30 minutes or less.
Yeah.
We had the favor of God.
Absolutely.
Because you know that I take multiple takes on both playing keys and vocals. Do not respond to that.
Yeah. When you called me that day and you said, hey, I want you to help me write this song, I got off the phone with you and immediately the Lord started hitting me with lyrics. Nation to nation, heart to heart. See eye to eye or eyes wide open. And it just started all come together.
Right.
And that kind of spurred everything on when we actually walked in the room and started writing it.
Yep.
It just fell together.
Yep.
Just boom.
The things that you were hearing, the things that I was hearing, they just meshed together. And what an awesome song that we have. Now, this song is not completely recorded yet. It's just a scratch track with my vocals and the keys.
But we're going to play it right when we're done here. It'll be on this video.
Maybe
We'll just
you'll
add it
hear
to
a
it.
little piece of it, just a little piece of it. I don't want to play the whole thing, but a little piece of it, just to give you a little taste. But I'm going to take it back to Detroit. We're going to take it in the studio and then do a few things, send it back here, let you finish mixing and mastering it, and we're going to have a great song to be able to play as a theme song for Nation to Nation, and I believe it's going to have a huge impact on the people of Israel. It's going to pull on the heartstrings of both Israelis and Americans and anybody else who listens to it. I really do believe that. Now, also, before we forget, this is the gentleman, for all of you that heard about the song that we did for the presidential inauguration, this is the gentleman who played the saxophone, played multiple instruments on it, and also did all of the recording, did all the mixing, all the mastering. What a jack of all trades, master of all, I think is probably how I would say it. And Izzy's just an amazing dude, and I am so honored to have him as a friend, but also a co-host and a brother that we're going to get a chance to spend a lot of time in Israel together. If you haven't heard the song, The Anchor Holds...
I have fallen on my knees. Sorry, I had to do it.
Oh, my God.
As I face the raging sea.
I will say this. There's other people that sing that song on YouTube. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'd like to see if any of you could go to YouTube, put in search for The Anchor Holds, listen to some songs, and see if you can
went
guess
there.
who
The
is on there.
anchor hold.
Anyways, I shouldn't be making fun of it because
It's awesome.
He's actually family. But anyways,
It's great.
Yeah.
That's what this podcast is about. We make fun of ourselves. We make fun of you. We make fun of them.
Yes.
But in a good way, not a horrible, like make someone want to cry way. We just have fun.
No.
If you can't have fun on a podcast, why in the world would you even listen to it?
Listen, if you can't have fun in the kingdom of God.
Oh, man, yeah.
Man, some of y'all need to come to Resting Place in Detroit where I'm at.
We're going to prove to you that you can have fun sober.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't think it's possible. It is possible.
It is.
I make people laugh all day.
You do.
And I'm in my right mind.
That's questionable, but
questionable.
you do make people laugh. I stay in stitches all the time. Anyways, listen, Izzy, thank you again for coming on board. Thank you for seeing the vision of Nation to Nation. Thank you for partnering with me and partnering with me on this podcast. I do believe that God's going to use us and use this platform to really speak to people all over the world, especially the apple of God's eye there in Israel, and I'm excited about it. Again, if you're wanting to go on with the trip with us, May the 4th to the 14th, reach out to us at N2Nshow@gmail.com, and we would be glad to get you the information, all the details, and get you signed up and ready to go with us. It's going to be a powerful time. Izzy, thank you again. I love you, man.
Yes.
It's going to be a great time.
May the 4th be with you. N2Nshow@gmail.com. See you guys later.
Bye.
I know you need a helping hand to walk on. I'm here for you. Every step you take, you're not alone. So don't go far away too long. We need you now. You're in our hearts, you're in our prayers. Just hold on. Nation to nation, heart to heart, eyes wide open, love does its part. Peace over you and the land that is yours. We're walking together like never before. Nation to nation, heart to heart, with eyes wide open. When love does its part, there's peace over you and the land that is yours. We're walking together like never before. As I speak love and I speak peace from now on through eternity. I speak love and I speak peace.